I think the traditional answer is that it's a pretty broad discipline, right? Computational discipline. You're looking at trying to mimic certain patterns or workflows or behaviors that a human might do, right? Using, for lack of a better word, algorithms. Um, I think when you look at the sort of history of artificial intelligence, it's been around for a long time, right? Even Turing way back, right? He's sort of coming up with the Turing test, thinking through what could artificial intelligence actually look like. Like it's out there. Um, I would say relevant for this context and our industry. The easiest way to sort of break it down is by thinking through the different forms or flavors of artificial intelligence, right? Like ways to mimic a particular human workflow or things like that. Um, in the past, the old architectures of technologies used to be things like machine learning models where you just take a bunch of data and then you try and extrapolate out patterns from that data. Um, or natural language processing, which is a similar version of that, but you're looking at sort of semantic language blocks and saying, okay, these semantic language blocks are very similar to one another. Um, all of these things are typically powered by architecture that's called like neural networks. So really, how do I describe it? Nodes of thinking blocks that are interconnected and can affect one another. Excuse me, I actually did some neural networks when I was in high school. So it's been around for a long time. I just dated myself. I think the larger change has come when you're looking at like large language models, or now these days like small language models. All right, with DeepSeek and sort of thinking through how do you take larger context windows and a much broader set of data, and in large language models cases, kind of the entirety of the English written history, right? Saying, okay, within the context of the entire written English history, if you had to pull out a pattern in response to something that you put in or a prompt, right, what would come out, right? And magically it just kind of comes out in a way that makes sense, right? So that's where I would say, like, you know, uh, that's been sort of breakthrough over the last few years in understanding that this flavor or version of artificial intelligence just happens to be something that is able to cross that barrier of, oh, there's actually some real, the output actually feels like some real human is actually thinking and processing and making sort of connections the way that the human would. Um, uh, where will it go? I don't know, right? But I might argue that uh, one thing is for sure. I think everything will become AI native or AI powered or large language model influenced in some way, shape, or form. In much the same way that like when the internet came out, you know, the newest and greatest tools were like, we're the first internet powered software, right? That's like, okay, yeah. Right now it's just software, right? Similarly, when mobile came out, it's like, oh, we're mobile and social, right? And local. Uh, there's that Silicon Valley uh, meme. Um, and now it's just software, right? Same thing, right? I think we call ourselves AI native, but at some point it will just be software.